fires of hope and prayer, with boundless faith in our destiny, we solemnly declare, side by side we stand, islands of the blue Caribbean Sea, this our native land. We pledge our lives to thee. Here every creed and race find an equal place, and may God bless our nation. Here every creed and race find an equal place, and may God bless our nation.
Almighty God, most beneficial and merciful, Creator of the universe and embodiment of divine wisdom and light, we come before you with thanksgiving and praise. May your will be done in our nation as it is in the heavens. Please bless our political leader, party officials, activists, and all the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Give us the grace to always see good, be good, and do good, and the courage to serve the people. Protect us as we stand against injustice and iniquity, and inspire our endeavors to find the right solutions to the problems that are affecting our fellow citizens. Grant that we may always work together with humility and respect for the greater happiness of all and the honor and glory of our country.
Good night to everybody. Good night to our UNC family. Good night, brothers and sisters. Welcome to this wonderful place here at Lengua Indian Walkway. We will have this wonderful meeting tonight. Tonight, I want to introduce to you my co-host, which is Miss
Alima Ali, Councillor for Fifth Company.
All right. So me and Councillor Alima Ali will be taking you through the program tonight. We want you to feel free to be a part of this great meeting. Feel free to express yourself because it is UNC time, and we are UNC, and we are proud. We are proud. We are happy to be members of this party, and tonight we are saying Kamla Persad-Bissessar all the way, all the way. Tonight, our first speaker is a very charming and hard-working young lady. Hailing from the village of Fifth Company, Nicole is a dedicated individual with a profound passion with engaging youth and a passionate heart for assisting the needy in her community. Ms. Gopal's journey unfolds as a testament to her relentless pursuit of a personal and professional growth. Let's welcome tonight a young person with a mission, a young person with a passion, a young person that is determined to continue to fight the good fight. Let's welcome tonight Miss Nicole Gopal, our next councillor for Lengua Indian War.
Good night to our esteemed political leader, the Honorable Kamla Persad-Bissessar, the most effective and noteworthy member of Parliament and Prime Minister this country ever had. A special good night to my MP, Ms. Michelle Benjamin, my role model, my pillar, and caretaker of Moruga Tableland. All executive members, councillors of the Princestown Regional Corporation, the community of Lengua Indian Walk, and of course, my Moruga Tableland residents. Tonight, I want to speak about the local infrastructure within the Lengua Indian Walk district. I know much work needs to be done, including drainage maintenance, construction, and repairs. I am also cognizant of the road rehabilitation and landslip that need urgent consideration. I know this because our hard-working member of Parliament, Ms. Michelle, and I traverse through the communities, identifying every issue you are facing and placing in order of severity to bring easement to you. Under Ms. Michelle's supervision, I have written to private organizations, government ministries, and also to the Princestown Regional Corporation to have them rectified. You see, this PNM government is playing smart and playing with stupidness and is trying to tie the hands of the Princestown Regional Corporation to put pressure on the people of Lengua Indian Walk. They plan to hold the corporation ransom while we wait for the unfairness and dispense to the people of Lengua Indian Walk to be corrected to the polls. I will continue to advocate and bring forward relief to the community therein. I have been on the ground from day one, and I am still on the ground working for you. Identifying issues, lobbying the relevant authorities to rectify them. We are at war in Lengua Indian Walk. We are at war with the PNM. It is so because the PNM is at war with the residents in Lengua Indian Walk. They push, and so we will push back. They stole from us the fundamental and natural rights of every citizen within this district by taking away a clear vote from one of our brothers.
As we take a little pause, ladies and gentlemen, please rise and welcome the leader of the opposition.
Look at the stars, look how they shine for you. And everything you do, yeah, they were all yellow. I came along, I wrote a song for you. And all the things you do, and it was called yellow. So then I took my turn. Oh, what a thing to have done. And it was all yellow. I swam across, I jumped across for you. Oh, what a thing to do. 'Cause you were all yellow. I drew a line, I drew a line for you. Oh, what a thing to do. And it was all yellow. Look at the stars, look how they shine for you. And everything you do, yeah, they were all yellow. I came along, I wrote a song for you. And all the things you do, and it was called yellow. So then I took my turn. Oh, what a thing to have done. was all.
Special good night to our political leader as well as Dr. Moonilal. As I continue, they stole from us the fundamental and natural rights of every citizen within this district by taking away a clear vote from one of our brothers. One for all and all for one. But what they didn't bank on is that the residents of Lengua Indian Walk fired are lit and ready for when the bell is rung to head back to the polls and take what is rightfully ours. We have Madingo Road that have not received any support from the PNM government. Sahadat residents have lost houses and still awaiting the government to render aid. Samuel Cooper Road residents have been solicited through a state company, Votes for Water. And the list continues. 3,000 strong, marching to the polls on that great day. Victory is at our hands, brothers and sisters. We will show them the power of the great people. We will show them the power of the great party, the United National Congress, the only party that have shown care, love, and support for the people of this district. We will make them fearful of our election because I'm ready. Let me reassure you, the residents of Lengua Indian Walk, I am committed, I am fired up to bring the fight to this rapacious and despicable PNM government. The Princeton Regional Corporation belongs to the United National Congress. It belongs to the people of this district and the 9 other districts that take it fully operational of the council. Lengua Indian Walk belongs to me, Miss Nicole Gopal, and all the residents who reside in Lengua Indian Walk. Victory is at our hands. Victory for all of us. Let us pave the way forward for general election. I am UNC and ready. UNC and proud. Yellow is the code. I thank you.
Got to find a solution to this pollution. Oh, oh, oh. Got to find a solution to this pollution.
Our next speaker, Senator Anil Roberts. Mr. Anil Roberts is nationally and internationally known as the swimming coach, sports commentator, and media broadcaster. Mr. Roberts is well known as the swimming coach of the Olympic bronze medal winner George Bovell III, and as the host of the national popular Douglas Politics, one of the most listened to talk shows in Trinidad and Tobago. He was first elected to the House of Representatives in 2010, and as a member of the Abadi Umera, he was appointed by Mrs. Kamla Persad-Bissessar as the Minister of Sports and Youth Affairs. Under his ministership, Trinidad and Tobago secured the highest number of medals at the Olympics in our history in 2012. In 2020, he was appointed as the opposition senator of the 12th Republican Parliament, a powerful voice of the United National Congress. Let's welcome Senator Anil Roberts.
Got to find a solution to this pollution.
PNM is a set of old thief. They tried to steal election in Tobago, and 11 months later they got it 14-1. They tried to steal an election from the United National Congress in Indian Walk, Lengua, and they shall get a cocktail coming, and that will signal the victory in general elections. This is a marginal seat. The United National Congress stands strong. The gerrymandering of the PNM since 1956, where they divide the country and feel that we will vote race, they never envisaged a leader like Kamla Persad-Bissessar, who does not see race, does not see face, does not see religion, does not see gender, just sees people. And that is where we will signal the victory. In this by-election, the PNM made a mistake. They tried to thief too much. And now this victory from the Southland will ring victory across Trinidad and Tobago like the yellow pui tree that are all over our country right now. God is saying he is ready for the United National Congress. Elections are very serious things. You know, in my life I've had some success in different spheres. But the greatest days in my life was on the birth of my 3 children. My eldest daughter, my middle son, and my youngest daughter. I was in the delivery room for each one of them entering the world. And no Olympic medal 2004, no world record, no world championship, no election victory, no ministerial post, no senatorial post, no master's degree could have brought me the joy that I felt on seeing those babies be born. In Trinidad and Tobago right now, 8 babies are dead. Not because of an act of God, but because of total incompetence, a lack of leadership, a lack of merit, a lack of individual intelligence, a lack of accountability, a lack of responsibility, and because of the PNM. Our babies are dead because the PNM is incompetent. Our babies are no more. They are angels gone too soon because of the incompetence of the PNM. Elections is not about jokes and games. This is not no time to be selfish and to feel you important. Those babies are important. With a prime minister like Kamla Persad-Bissessar, while acts of God may occur, they will not occur in the great and vast numbers as they are occurring now. Disease would not be conquering us. COVID-19 deaths, deaths at the hospital because of lack of care, lack of payment, lack of institutional knowledge, lack of intelligence because the PNM is incompetent. Terence Singh is the most incompetent human being to ever sit in a cabinet, and he happens to be the Minister of Health. The PNM must accept responsibility. Our babies are dead, and our babies represent our country. Each one of those babies, I'm going to tell you how serious it is. These babies could have become anybody, anything. They could have been another Hasely Crawford, another Keshawn Walcott, another George Bovell, another Nicholas Paul, another B.S. Naipaul, another Ansel Roger, another Errol McLeod, another labor union leader, another intelligent professor, another teacher, another musician, another poet. But they are dead because the PNM puts square pegs in round holes. And when you do that and you do not respect the job that you have, when there is no accountability, our children will die. The parents of those children, I cannot even fathom. Think about your own children. Think about the love you felt holding them and taking them and changing pampers, cleaning the belly button while it was waiting to fall off the umbilical cord. Feel and think about the destiny you put on them. When you took them out for a walk, a stroll, you gave them breast milk or baby milk grants that the PNM has taken away. Remember that, because these citizens cannot enjoy that. They will say that, Anil, why are you vexed? Your children are alive. We in the UNC feel for our brothers and sisters as we would feel for ourselves. When I was on the radio with Sprang Alang, may God rest his soul, in 2007 there was a spate of kidnappings and it was just too much to bear. And I came into the radio station and I was vexed. And they turned on the radio at 4:20 and I went off because 2 young boys from Sangre Grande had been kidnapped. And when I was ranting and raving about the pain that the mother would feel, the grandmother, the auntie, the teacher, we opened the lines and a PNM caller called me, Mr. Enterprise. And he said, Anil, I said, good afternoon, sir. He said, what you vex for? I said, what do you mean? He said, they kidnap your children? I said, no, thank God, knock on wood. He said, well, they kidnap your children, so why you vex? That is the modus operandi of the PNM. You must not be angry. You must not feel the pain for the others. So when they shut down Petrotrin and 5,364 people lose permanent jobs and 6,117 lose temporary jobs and fence line community, nail tech, restaurant, hairdresser, everybody lose money, we mustn't feel bad because we still have a salary. We could still draw us a pay. When teachers get disrespected and have no money, when they give you 4% and tell the policemen, go and put your life on the line. And I went to the police station the other day, and the policemen telling me that their vests, their bulletproof vests expire. No, we laugh. That's not a joke. Their bulletproof vests expire. I didn't even know bulletproof vests expire. But they expire, and they have to go and face bandits with AR-15 and submachine gun because the border open, because the PNM would not even pay fixed diesel to put in vessel to patrol the border. Every day I go fishing once a month, the border open, anything could pass. And our children are being slaughtered, our people and citizens are being slaughtered at home. And the PNM will feel good. They won't feel the pain. You want to know why? It's not them. They didn't kidnap their children. The violence didn't hit them. In the United National Congress, they don't have to hit us for us to feel. We feel when you, the people, get hurt. And with a Prime Minister like Kamla Persad-Bissessar, that's where the love comes from. That's where the leadership comes from. Leadership is very important. A PNM man called me today. He said, Anil, what you talking about? Terence Dialsing is not a nurse in the NICU. He's not a doctor. The children died. He is not responsible. He is responsible. Leadership is very important. Leadership, why do we have presidents and prime ministers? Why do we have heads of union? Why do we vote for leaders? Why do we have coaches and managers of professional team, basketball team, Olympic coaches? Because leaders set the tone. Leaders find other people who know and are skilled at their job, put them in place, and they set a culture of success, a culture of professionalism, a culture of love and care. And that's what's lacking in the hospital. Because Dialsing is a dunce, and he chooses dunces, and the dunces choose more dunces, and the nurses and doctors don't respect the dunces. And that's what happens. Because with proper processes, bacteria and infections cannot get in a sterile environment. It's because of lack of leadership, lack of incentive. In the police service, you see, the PNM choose their commissioner of police, and now the police are demotivated. You're filling out form, they don't even have receipts when you're paying any fees to them. They have to fill out 2 because the printer ain't print the receipt. Police have no cars, no paperwork, no pen, and they must go out and fight a criminal element that is lacking love. And the PNM say that they are in charge. They are in charge of the worst time in the history of Trinidad and Tobago. Nothing works. Our 8 babies have died. The 8 babies represent the health sector that has been decimated. Crime is at the worst it has ever been under Fitzgerald, Ethelbert, narcolepsy, sativa, sleepy, ride a horse with an 8-year-old boy and enjoy it, Heinz. Nobody gets water. Under Kamla in 2014, 74% water, 24/7, turn on your tap. Now it's at 16%. Education, what Tim Gopi Singh and Fazal Karim and the UNC, children had opportunity. Now education is dead because the Minister of Education wondering whether to foster Rowley or to Rowley foster. Energy sector is decimated under a small pin, arrogant dunce lawyer who knows nothing about energy but travels all over with Rowley. Rowley spent $10.6 million to travel over 3 years, and he achieved nothing for you. That is 20 million because he took his sidekick with him everywhere he went. He had to have his small pin. He can't breathe without a small pin. Rowley needs his small pin. That is $21 million. That is 4,400 laptops for children for these two clowns to fly all over the world to achieve absolutely nothing. Elections have consequences. Our babies are dying. Our babies have died. Sport and culture is dead. We can't even get a soca monarch. It was Kamla Persad-Bissessar who had soca monarch every year. Increased prize money and opportunities. Calypso monarch, increased pan. They boasting that they pay pan man 500. Kamla was paying 1,000. The economy under the Dwayne Imbot is shattered. We have no revenue streams. The only revenue stream is to tax you and take what you don't have. They give you 4% and then tell you they come in for 12%. That is mathematics. PNM is subtraction. UNC is addition. Kamla will increase the revenue streams and no new taxes. Kamla will untax the property tax. Prime Minister Keith Rowley is the worst Prime Minister in the history of Trinidad and Tobago, bar none. He win that like Usain Bolt win a running race. Rowley is the worst. He has no heart, no love. He doesn't even care about his own children because he determined who inside and who outside. Imagine that. If he cannot even care about what comes from within him, you think he have time to study you? You think he have time to study you in Moruga, Tableland, in Indian Walk, Lengua? Understand this. Elections have consequences. General election begins right here in this by-election. The United National Congress, strong, one leader, one party. God bless.
Got to find a solution to this pollution. Oh, oh, oh. Got to find a solution to this pollution.
Let's give it up tonight for Senator Anil Roberts, a man who speaks the truth all the time. Tonight we have a very powerful person. That person is none other than Senator Jearlean John. Senator Jearlean John has a track record of service over 25 years. She has served as the Managing Director of AGC, Chairman of Unicot, CEO of Peace Boys Group, Minister of Transport, Tourism and Tobago Affairs, Director of VIMCOT, CEO of PTSC, and the Business Development Manager of the University of the West Indies, along with board membership of TNTech and Whitehead. Jearlean John is a chartered accountant, certified personal accountant, a certified management accountant. She holds an MBA from the Edinburgh Graduate School of Business and a Chief Executive Training Certificate from the National University of Singapore. She is known in the business circle as a high innovative manager who burns the midnight oil, who gets the project done. We well know her in the circle of the UNC the same way, with the same vision. A woman with a lifetime of service for the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Please welcome tonight a no-nonsense person, a person that tells you as it is. Let's welcome Senator Jearlean John.
No matter how me try to do it, me can't sleep.
Hello, Moruga Tableland, we can't sleep. I have to bring the vibes. Mr. Biggs, give me an next little riff, madam, I can't sleep there. I feel like my...
Oh, where them get it from? Nobody know. The father was a killer. Well, I saved on them grow. Oh, I know me can't sleep. No matter how me try to do it, me can't sleep. I feel me
Can you all sleep in Moruga Tableland? Are you sleeping? I feel like all you're sleeping, all you need to wake up. Me can't sleep. We can't sleep. We can't sleep because we have work to do. I say good evening to the Honorable Leader of the Opposition and Dr. Gregory Bissessar. I know the Leader of the Opposition ain't sleeping, and not because she can't sleep. It's because we're busy. Good evening to MP Michelle Benjamin and the Moruga Tableland team. Members of Parliament. Moruga Tableland, are you asleep? No. Boy, this song is as if you're hungry. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. I love coming to your constituency. It truly demonstrates the diversity of the UNC. Very recently, we were here I accompanied the Leader of the Opposition and others to the spiritual Shouter Baptist Day, and of course, it was a whole breakdown in the constituency. The UNC's superpower is its diversity. Don't let people let you believe this big, bad, powerful, vibrant party is too good for you. Is it too good for you? Boy, there's something hungry in Moruga Tableland. The UNC is working its way to government. And the sons and daughters of those whose forefathers labored in the sugarcane, those who toiled in the oil fields. Mr. Jackman of OWTU is here. You know sugar and oil make sweet oil. And we all for that. We all for that. Those who sowed this land to ensure we had food on our tables. My mother Vida cooked food at the breakfast shed with Aunt Judah and Divina to ensure her children did not go hungry. So yes, those who sell fried chicken and chips have a place and a space in the United National Congress. We are happy to welcome everybody. Everybody, you are welcome in the House of the Rising Sun. UNC, you work for this. Let us keep the formation until the last whistle. That is when the votes are counted on election night. Keep the formation, don't fall out. In this regard, I must make mention of last Saturday when MP Anil Ram came into the war room at the constituency office that we have at Lahore Hotel Paru. He came to work with us. Chairman Ryan Rampersad, in his wrapping up, reminded us that during the COVID, MP Ram was also there, helping us handing out hampers and so on during COVID, to help those who are most vulnerable in our communities. MP Ram knows the UNC currently holds 19 seats, and we need to get to seat 20 and 21. He understands too, we are all in this together. Thank you, MP Ram, for your kindness and generosity. Thank you so much. That is what we have to do as brothers and sisters in this great party. Moruga Tableland, we have to keep the focus on what is important. As we stumbled from one horrible tragedy to the next, we can hardly catch our collective breath. I keep speaking about 21-year-old, she was that at the time, Sadeh Emmanuel, who left home one day to go visit the mall and never came back, never returned to her home. 23-year-old Andrea Barrett, who catching a taxi to go home from work, never was seen by her father again. She was found 4 days after. Ashanti Riley taking a taxi to go see her grandmother. 11-year-old Ezekiel Huggins, who was riding a bike to the neighborhood shop. What they have in common is that they were all murdered. Murdered in the prime of their life. Murder victim, one of the most recent, Miss Crystal Haricharan, who was killed in her car. Prior to that, she was firebombed twice. Went to the police station, was told there was nothing we could do for you. We are just living in this pool of blood. And UNC, we cannot stop talking about it because the government is doing nothing about it. And if we don't stand in the gap for you, if Kamla Persad-Bissessar and the UNC don't stand in the gap for you, who is going to stand in the gap for you? Who, UNC? Is there anyone who is talking about murders? This mother died slumped over a car. Did you see anybody from the government say anything? No, that is normal. Senator Roberts just spoke about the 7 babies who were dead. What did they get? Consolation. What did Rowley give the family of the 4 divers after they would have begged and pleaded to meet with him? He gave them a glass of juice and his consolation. That is all they are doing. How are we going to continue to live like that? Our life is in our hand. This is not even about the PNM and the UNC anymore. This is about YOU. And the next election you must vote for YOU. People are asking me, what is the difference between Rowley and Kamla? The difference between Rowley and Kamla is 106 schools. Is 9 police stations. Is 7,800 houses. Is 12,000 repairs. That is what the difference is. It's 14% versus 4%. What is greater? Is 4 bigger than 14? No. We have to do the maths. This is right in front of you. Nobody shouldn't be begging people to vote right now in Trinidad and Tobago. The difference is obvious. You would not have been in this pool of blood. Can you imagine Kamla Persad-Bissessar as the Prime Minister and 4 men are offshore? They have gone out to work. The family, they have a reasonable expectation they will return home safely. And they are not at home. And somebody go and tell Kamla Persad-Bissessar that these 4 men are offshore suffering a 6-inch pipeline, and she will stand up there and do nothing. She will sit there and do nothing. She will turn in her bed and do nothing. I could tell you, Kamla Persad-Bissessar would have moved heaven and earth, including going out there in a boat to find those divers. And that is the fundamental difference. Don't ask me. It is there. It's not as if a stranger. She worked for you and in your interest for 5 years, from 2010 to 2015. People meet me all over and tell me it was the best time of their lives. Last week, during Eid, I was talking to a young lady and her husband. Between the 2 of them, they have 5 degrees. The girl started to cry because she leaves San Fernando at 3 a.m. to go to work in Port of Spain, and then try to return to hold classes on afternoon, all to make 2 ends meet. Young people. And you know what she's telling me? She said, we cannot, with all of that, we cannot afford a house. I say, I've been on a flight with one Roodal Moonilal, and the flight attendant, after tucking him in with the blanket, pulled out a piece of paper and said, "That's my number." Why is that? They knew that every week he was giving out 100 houses. We gave out over 800 houses to the national security personnel. That is police, fire. 1 week we gave 100 houses just to fire. You ask them, it's in the record. We had programs called "It's Been a Long Time Coming" for those who have been waiting for 14 years. We gave out houses to those people. People crying like baby on Moonilal's shoulder, and he patting, sobbing, because they never knew they would have held this thing called a key. Now all the PNM doing is putting up billboard and a sign of things to come. Rowley playing Jesus. Oh, Muhammad. Oh, Jesus. He does see. He need to come to Moruga and set up shop. He has a dream, but he has no Martin Luther King. All he doing is putting a billboard all over the place. They should send a little warden after Rowley. And they're telling you woulda, coulda, shoulda. Close your eye and you will see after election you're going to get what? We gave out over 7,000 keys. And when the new Minister of Housing turned up on the compound, she said, this is stupidness. It is stupidness for her. But for the girl who was crying in San Fernando, and I told her, you are 8 years too late. I asked her, did you vote? She said no. I said, I did a mistake. I hope you're going to vote next time. Vote for you. Moruga, Tableland, we have to vote in our best interests. All this thing about who black, who white, who head straight, who head soft, it ain't matter when you don't have a roof over your head. It does not matter, just like Crystal. When she went to the police station, she said, they tell her, you come again with this fire bombing. She said, you're going to wait until I die. And what happened? Somebody shoot her dead last week. It is reported in the papers. It is there for us to see. If Kamla Persad-Bissessar wasn't coming, that will not happen until one Christmas Day. I'm in my office sitting down. The Prime Minister at the time, the Honorable Kamla Persad-Bissessar, did not know I was in my office. And I got this call. The Prime Minister, so I say this lady calling me to wish me a Merry Christmas. She called me to ask me about somebody, about housing, the number, why it is. Christmas Day. Miss Kamla Persad-Bissessar don't know Christmas, she's Scrooge. So I'm there in my office, I didn't tell her. I called the head of allocation. And I said, no, I didn't call her, I texted her because I knew it was Christmas. And I said, I'll wait. The Prime Minister called me back in 10 minutes. So she said, what is happening? I said, Madam Prime Minister, I'm in my office, I'm feeling good, you know. I'm in my office. She said, I'm waiting on the information. No pat on the back. She's calling about a woman who is in need. That is the Prime Minister you need. That when you're in times of trouble, at the HDC, we had a program called Lean on Me. And what Lean on Me meant, Dr. Roodal Moonilal turns up there looking sharp in his outfit on a Saturday to hand out 100 keys. Every Saturday without fail. When it is 3 months before Christmas, he will announce 3,000 keys, right? Because he had care and all he wanted to do is to get the keys out. And do you know what? Public servants are some of the hardest working people I know when they are motivated. They will be in that office and at 10 they will call me in the night, 10 p.m. And they'll say, Miss John, we have gotten to a certain part in the procedure. We need for you to sign off. And you know what? I'll go back to my office and I'll sign off. You ask them, I'm talking openly, they'll tell you. Somebody wrote a reference to me the other day and they put that my personal credo is nobody could outwork me. I would return to that office and I'll sign every form. Why? Because the people depended on us. On mornings, we'll open the government office at 6:30 because a lot of our clients and customers will be coming through that PTSC, that gateway. And I wanted them to come, pay us, and go to work on time. We opened on Saturday and Sunday. Normal. For if people from Moruga, Tableland got allocated, we opened on those days to ensure they did not have to take the traffic, 1, 2, they didn't have to miss work, and 3, the best and biggest thing, the most impactful thing to happen to you in your life is to get a house, is to hear the words, you have been allocated. And when one Dr. Roodal Moonilal puts that key in your hand, you can go the afternoon. A lot of people, it used to be like movement of job people. They will pull up the afternoon with their key in hand, open their door, and they move in. Now you're seeing people sitting down in the dark. On the paper says 6 months I'm here, no electricity. They say we got the keys this morning, and by the time we're walking away from the key giving out ceremony, they take back the keys because the house and they may finish. And now they are building houses without beam, without foundation, without bonds. So it means when you don't take the security bond, you know what that means? It means that you have nothing to call in. So any number could play, and that is you to catch. Because money for the PNM is nothing. It's a sort of glad man and glad woman. They don't care what they waste. They don't care what they throw away. They don't care what they recuse away. And they don't care what they steal. It ain't matter because it's all about them and it's not about you. And it is the reason 7 babies. I mean, when 7 babies could die in a hospital in the capital city, it tells you we reach where we reach. We ain't going nowhere. We have reached. UNC, Jearlean John, I'm telling you in the next election, vote for YOU. Vote for yourself. Vote for betterment. Vote for a woman with empathy. What she has, the heart she has is a superpower. Don't bother with anybody, you know. Let me tell you something. This UNC has so much strong-willed people. People with all kind of ideas. We ain't easy, you know. But never mind what you tell this lady they call Kamla Persad-Bissessar. She answers you in the same tone. And she will tell me, Jearlean, a political party is not a business. You can't fire everybody. Calm down. Calm down. It is her temperament that have us heading towards government. And nobody could tell me we are not going to win the next election. They could jump high. They could jump low. They could wish this. They could wish that. They could jump up. As well, you say what did they say? I could look left and right here, playing with you, whatever, God knows. So, many who have seen their mothers and fathers treading up the wine press, working every single day. Yes, all people go to work, as they read out before, I've worked in the state sector and in leading roles as managing director, PTSC, HDC, board member, TNTEC, YTEP, chairman, UDCOT, and I've never seen people more engaged and harder working than, as I said, a motivated public servant. So people show up for work every single day, only to end up with 4% in their wages to pay 100% increase in everything. They cannot pay for extra lessons. They cannot pay for nutritious food. They can't pay rent. They can't pay for everything. So when the PNM brag that they have been running this country for over 50 years, whose fault it is that it is in a mess? Whose fault? Are you awake? Moruga Tableland? Yes, I want to know whose fault it is. I want to know. So you have to ask yourself, from 2010 to 2015, and now 2015 to 2024, are you better off in 2024? Are you better off? No, you're not better off. You understand? You understand? So I don't know what people are talking about. I don't know where all this confusion is about. Because when the election day bell is rung, I don't know where Raul is running on. He can't run on billboards and promises. Just this morning I'm looking at Bloomberg News and I'm seeing the Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi. They have election this week. Modi, when he started, he's going for his third term. When he started, India was number 10 in the world in terms of wealth, the economy. 10. Today, they are number 5. By the time this term finishes, they'll be number 3. And they are moving past China because Apple and Microsoft and Micron looking to put down their flag in India. That is what a prime minister does. He stirs the economy. Things must change. You can't get only rivers of blood when you're prime minister. You have to hang your head in shame. You have to have a track record as the one left by Kamla Persad-Bissessar, and I don't care what nobody say. It was the best times, and now we are in the worst of times, and we have to know the difference. Nobody don't come and ask me who to vote for. You must know who you must vote for, because you must know that when you went home with 14%, your wife did love you more, because you know no money, no love. You know women just drop it. So we are not a Facebook and a shares and like party. We are boots on the ground. Direct engagement with you. In this Moruga Tableland, our dear Member of Parliament, Michelle Benjamin, is like black girl magic on the ground. She's going to win the seat in the next election. And they can do what they want. I'm saying with the work, she's going to win the seat. So all of the people, working with the people, all of the people, that is what it takes. And for those who labor with you, labor with us, it will be returned in full measure. Because by the love that we show for all because of our leader. Because of our leader. She preaches a message of love to my great consternation. When I call in war, she said, no, Jearlean, put a little love in your heart. So thank you, Moruga Tableland. Thank you, UNC. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot.
Oh, where them get it from? Nobody know. The father was a killer. Oh, well, I see him on them grow. Oh, I know me can't see.
At this point in time, I would like to recognize the following persons: MP Anil Ram, MP Indar Singh, MP Saddam Hussain, Senator Jearlean John, MP Ravi Ratiram, His Worship the Mayor of Chaguanas, and the Mayor of Siparia. Ladies and gentlemen, our next speaker is a name that everyone is familiar with in Trinidad and Tobago, having been a member of Parliament since his younger days way back in 2001. First as a government senator, and then as a member of Oropouche East in 2002. In 2010, Dr. Moonilal went on to be the Minister of Housing and Environment and the leader of the government business in Parliament. Aside from the long-standing and distinguished political career he holds, Dr. Moonilal has been very accomplished academically. After graduating with a bachelor's in government from the University of West Indies in 1985, Dr. Moonilal went on to Hague in Netherlands, where he earned his master's as well as his doctorate in development studies. Not stopping there, in 2007, Dr. Moonilal went on to study law where he graduated in 2010. Now Dr. Moonilal is a qualified and practicing attorney in addition to the multitude of his other academic achievements. A servant of the people, popularly known as the Lion, Dr. Moonilal has been a force to be reckoned with, politically and in Parliament, where he continues to represent the people of Oropouche East and Trinidad and Tobago. Ladies and gentlemen, let's please welcome Dr. Roodal Moonilal.
Honorable Kamla Persad-Bissessar and Dr. Gregory Bissessar, members of Parliament, senators, members of the Executive of the United National Congress, our very hard-working Member of Parliament, Michelle Benjamin, officers of the party, brothers and sisters, all assembled tonight in such huge numbers. I think now there are more people outside of our main hall than we have inside this hall. So I feel I should address the mass of people who are really outside, and we are very sorry that what appears to be hundreds of you have to stand, but I'll see if I make it interesting for you. We also want to welcome our friends, activists, supporters abroad, our good friend Norbert in Canada, Patricia Ricardo in New York, others throughout the Caribbean, Europe, wherever our supporters are, tune in tonight on the various platforms. Brothers and sisters, this evening I'm here to speak for a few minutes. I want to take the opportunity to raise just about 2 issues with you, but to reinforce a point that Jearlean and Anil Roberts were making before, that we must at all times remember that this country during the period 2010 to 2015 experienced unparalleled prosperity, opportunity. It was a period when everything worked. It was a period when everyone worked. We must return to the days of Kamla Persad-Bissessar and the United National Congress. I ask you to just think, in those days, in that period, you had water, you had roads, we invested in drainage, so we did not have this type of flooding. You could have opened your door and look out, you could have sit down in the gallery in the evening, enjoy a cup of tea. Today, what are you? You are in a cage in your home, and some people are now designing their home to have a cage in the cage. It is so bad. This is where this country is today. Nothing works, and no one in government works. Look at the cable barriers on the highway. We had cable barriers when we were there. Today, Rohan Sinanan and the bunch of them, they cannot even fix or repair cable barriers on the highway to save lives. Because your life don't matter. Your life don't matter. And when they cannot get a little money to fix a cable barrier, to work in the hospital to prevent bacterial infection of babies. I said in Parliament on Friday, and I'll say it on the platform, I just go to court every week these days. If your job is to protect babies, infants in the hospital, if as Minister of Health, your job is to protect the health of babies, and 7 babies die, then effectively you are a baby killer. You are? If that is your job, we depend on you to provide that environment for the wellness and the health of babies, of infants, of children. 7, and the minister came in Parliament, and you know what was his attitude? We're sorry. He's sorry. Then when we pressed him further, his explanation is what you're quarreling for, plenty baby, I'm healthy. That is the most unbelievable response, that they will respond to the crisis, this catastrophe, without a heart. I think if you open this man or it will be chest, you will find a black hole. You cannot have a heart to allow that to happen. Brothers and sisters, but I will deal more with that another time. Tonight,
I wanted to raise with you that this government has been in office for 9 years or so. They have wasted and squandered hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars. And I will show you tonight just one recent example. In the parliament on Friday last, we received a written response to what is called question number 42. Question 42, filed in the name of the Member of Parliament for Orapuch East. We asked the Prime Minister, only for 3 years, we were interested in 3 years, could you tell us what was the cost of your travel? You know this fella just come back to Trinidad to change his clothes and go back. But we were concerned with that because when you do that, you spend money and you spend taxpayers' money. The hospital don't have a tablet. The police station don't have a little notepad to write report. They don't have toilet paper. Everything gone through. The Prime Minister's office sent a letter, a response. In 36 months, Keith Rowley made 19 official visits in 36 months, which is 3 years. Brothers and sisters, I will tell you the summary and then we'll get to the detail. He spent $10.6 million in 3 years in travel. In travel. That works out to $300,000 per month. $300,000 per month Keith Rowley spends on travel in the last 3 years. We ain't going back to 2015 and thing yet. This is where your money went when they don't have basic equipment in ministries, when they cannot provide you with a food card, a hamper. When you come into Lengua, coming this evening through Lengua, I had to ask the driver, I say, are you sure we on the road? At any time, I thought the thing would have dropped from the ceiling like in them plane, you know, when there's a change of pressure, that has dropped something from the ceiling. I look and I thought in the van it would have dropped. I couldn't believe these roads. You cannot get money to fix roads in these areas, but $10.6 million, and I give you just a couple small examples. Keith Rowley, this one is a nice one. He went to St. Vincent. You all remember in St. Vincent there was a meeting with Maduro, and they called President Irfan Ali, Mr. Maduro and others for a little meeting to discuss their problem. Keith Rowley decided he going to that. Now what he gone there to do, we don't know. But you know, 1 day in St. Vincent cost $75,000. A ticket to St. Vincent is about $3,000. It cost this country $75,000 for a 1 day trip of the Prime Minister to St. Vincent. Brothers and sisters, he went to something called roundtable discussions with a congresswoman discussing banking in Barbados. That meeting was effectively 1 day, 2 day travel, 1 day meeting. It cost the taxpayer $127,000. Here this one, World Leader Summit, taking place in Scotland and London, October 31st to November 6th. If you take away traveling days, 4 days. $1.1 million in 4 days, gone. I continue. Oh, strategic energy briefing session hosted by Proman in Zurich. Then he traveled to Amsterdam. Then he traveled to London. Now he's always traveling with Pat Pastu. Who is the guy from around the world in 80 days? The Qadi. So this money I telling you is for Rowley. It's not for what Anil refers to as what? Yeah, it's not him. This is for Rowley alone because, in fact, I believe with his size, instead of carrying him and buying a seat, you could put him in the overhead compartment. And save the taxpayer some money. Just put him in the overhead compartment and he go everywhere. You don't pay for that. So they went to Proman in London and so on. Here is one. September 3rd to 10th, that's 7 days, but you're traveling, huh? So 5 days, $1.3 million. $1.3 million Keith Rowley spent for that trip. He went to Georgetown, here is one, Georgetown, Guyana, February 14th, Valentine's Day, to February 17th. I think I am alive, huh? So, he went He went on Valentine's Day to Georgetown. They spent 2 days in Georgetown, $651,000. The classic now, I reached the classic, or should I give you one or two more? More! The crowd say more. He went to London again in December 2nd, my birthday, to December 6th. December 6th to 2nd to 6th, 4 days, but you're traveling, huh? So effectively, it's 3 days you're working. He went in December 2023 to London to see Atlantic LNG by their office. Well, that cost $664,000. That was the cost of that. But here this one, and I'll end this segment because I have to get to two other things here. He went in May 11th to May 17th. Fellow went May 11th to May 17th to receive a Doctor of Letters from Howard University. They decided to give him a Doctor of Letters. That's some personal thing, I think. You call yourself PhD. His friend gave him that, yes. Pretty hard drunk, PhD. So he goes there now, and he gets this PhD, and he then tells us, remember this, we raised this issue in Parliament. He said when he's there, he's going to meet high-level officials. Now, they were running from Starbucks to McDonald's to look for anybody in a jacket and tie and take a picture. That was their idea of high-level officials. They can't tell you who. Once the person wearing a decent suit, a silk tie, and a big towel in the pocket, they meet. So they go on to do that. Do you know it costs the taxpayer $400,000 for Keith Rowley to go to collect his Doctor of Letters from Howard University? That is a personal thing. I don't want to call name and say nothing. We had a case once. The Prime Minister decided that nobody should be traveling to collect any personal, award and so on. Personal awards are good. That is great. We welcome that. But the taxpayer ought not to be paying for that. $400,000 this man spent going for that. We have some more examples. He had a trip between January 29th to February 1st. I don't know how much days it are between January 29th to February 1st. Huh? But he went on a trip with that too. Yeah, there's a trip recorded for that too. Spent over $400,000. Over $400,000, brothers and sisters. That is how they were spending money. That was a meeting of, hear this. We made a big thing out of this too, I remember. A meeting with high-level officials of the United States. January 28th to February 1. How many days is that? I don't know. Anyway, it was $818,000. This, I want to assure you, we will investigate this further. And every one of those trips, we will file questions. We will file freedom of information to find out who did you meet, what was the agenda, who invited you. They just go uninvited everywhere, and then rack up this bill. The other matter I wanted to raise with you, related as well. We have been raising a matter in Parliament. It concerns a lobbying firm in the United States, Washington, called DC LLC. But there's a fellow named Art Collins, who runs it. And since December 2015, they have been paying him per month, I can say it now, 100,000 United States dollars per month. They have paid over 66 million TT dollars, 100,000 US a month in US currency. And you know what his job is? Organize meeting. Who organizes meeting tonight? Will you get 10 US dollars? Huh? 100,000 United States dollars. I have the latest contract in my hand. Another 2 years they have signed between the Ministry of Finance and DC company in America. It is now dated, brothers and sisters, the 24th of January 2024, recently. They signed a 3-year contract from January, again, for 2.7 million United States dollars to be paid 100,000 US per month, going to a man who just go to New York to say he organizing diaspora. My brother and sister could organize that. Them could organize some kind of meeting and thing. You go on there to pay 100,000, and this is the corruption we face. When we raise this in Parliament, Rowley said, I know him, but he's not working for the PNM. This is how they intend to fund their political campaign. 100,000 US per month. And this is the latest contract, January 2024 for 3 years. But I assure him, Mrs. Persad-Bissessar has, what they call that machine where you put paper in a shredder? A shredder? She has a shredder. And this contract should go in the shredder. We must terminate this nonsense of giving people. We have a mission in the United States, Washington, New York, Miami, and so on. Their job is to promote Trinidad and Tobago. We don't give people $100,000 per month to promote Trinidad and Tobago. This is the indecency. We have asked questions after question in the parliament. Myself, Mrs. Persad-Bissessar, and others have asked questions on this. And this is sheer corruption, brothers and sisters. So we have other speakers, of course. We have other issues. All I will do is encourage you at this time to keep firm, keep strong. Your party is a party with a vision, a party that stands for justice, equality, and national unity. We are strong and getting stronger. We won the local government elections, whatever they say we won. We will win the general elections whenever it is called. I ask you, brothers and sisters, do not consume the narrative of the PNM and vomit out their rhetoric. Do not consume their narrative and vomit their rhetoric. That is not your role. That is not your role. You are to be strong and united and recognize that we are now within touching distance of government. We need 2 more seats, and we have them, and we have more in the bag, and we will not be distracted. Thank you. God bless you.
Got to find a solution to this pollution. Got to find a solution.
Yes, the lion keep roaring. This is so good. UNC and proud. Tonight we just want to recognize MP David Lee, MP Dave Tanku, MP Sicharan, and MP Bodo. In the audience also we have the chairman of PTRC, vice chairman and councillors of the PTRC. We want to welcome you also to this meeting tonight. Tonight is my pleasure to welcome on stage the one and only, the best, the light in the wilderness, the voice that keeps crying out, hold on, help is on its way. Michelle Benjamin is the current MP for Moruga Tableland. She previously served 2 terms as a councillor for the Hindustan St. Mary's area, the chairperson of the Moruga Tableland constituency executive. Michelle is well known and loved by the community. She was raised and educated in the area, having attended Cowan Hamilton Secondary and the Southern Communities College. She went on to obtain a diploma in computer studies from the School of Accounting and Management and a bachelor's of science degree, environment and natural resources management and biology from the University of the West Indies. She is a family-oriented person, an active member of the Baptist community. Michelle is affiliated with a lot of groups in the community: government, youth, sporting. Ms. Michelle Benjamin represents a very segment of Moruga Tableland with accountability, integrity, fairness, and without fear or favor. She is indeed the voice crying out in the wilderness saying, help is on the way. Better days are coming. Tonight, let's welcome on stage Ms. Michelle Benjamin, MP for Moruga Tableland.
constituency built on faith. Let me get down to the people business. So Moruga Tableland, I am a woman of faith. We are a constituency built on faith. Our political leader says, put God in front and walk behind. So all we say is, Father God, protect us from our enemies. And who is our enemy? The people. Alright, so it's the Rowley PNM-led government. That is our enemy. This oppressive PNM government. The cost of living is too high. Who caused that? This PNM government. The bloods of our sons and daughters are running in the street. Who caused that? This PNM government. So let me stay focused. Moruga Tableland. Who is the enemy? The people. Alright, Rowley is the enemy. Alright, I stand corrected. Rowley is the enemy. Rowley PNM. Good night, Moruga Tableland. Again, good night to my honorable political leader. Good night to all my parliamentary colleagues. And good night to all councillors, both from the Princeton Regional Corporation and to all my former councillor colleagues, because I came from amongst you. Moruga Tableland, and a special good night to you. Good night, Lengwa Indian Walk. Realize Road, we are here. And we are here to discuss the business of Moruga Tableland. Constituents of Moruga Tableland, I stand before you proud that you have chosen me to answer the call of development in our constituency. With your support and that of the United National Congress and our political leader, I will continue to stand in the gap for you. Stand against this wicked PNM government. It is wrong that in Moruga Tableland, this PNM government weaponize every living thing from water to fixing roads. They use it to solicit our votes. That is wrong. We are entitled to proper infrastructure. During the dry season, we must not have to feel the pain of no water in our taps. My constituents know that pain because why? They weaponize it. You heard your soon-to-be councillor. The people of Moruga Tableland knows that the PNM government has not been the answer for progress. And in 2020, you said no to their games. And today, I ask you to say no to Rowley, useless, worthless, PM. Let me get that right. Worthless Prime Minister and his mismanagement team. As I stand here today, you have more reasons to say no to the PNM government as they continue to fail you time and time again. They have failed to improve our agricultural sector. They have failed to provide, as I said, a standard water supply. They have failed to provide solutions for roads. They have failed to continue the structure left by Ms. Kamla Persad-Bissessar. Instead, they took it away. They have failed to provide jobs for our young people. Right here in Realize Road, Madingo 6 Company. My youths are unemployed in Moruga in Tableland. My young people present here tonight could tell you that the year have started and they have not worked anywhere. Youths of Moruga Tableland, am I lying? They have failed to protect us, the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Why? Because the unemployment level is linked to the crimes. The PNM government has as its leader someone that served as an agricultural minister from did you guys know that? From 1991 to 1995, he was an agricultural minister. But what has he done for the agricultural industry. One, our Prime Minister, well, yes, Rowley, he was Minister of Agriculture. I take correction. I take correction. And that is right. Our soon-to-be Prime Minister, yes. And his track record back then and now when it comes to the agricultural sector leaves a lot to be desired. He has done nothing for our farmers. What has he done? We are not surprised that because this is the signature of this government. It is a regressive government, as the only movement we see from the People National Movement is a backward movement. On the 7th of March, if you would believe, 2024, we saw that the Prime Minister had a public meeting in Shagwanas speaking about agriculture. And interestingly enough, he mentioned our pineapple farmers here in Moruga, Tableland. But he didn't know that the home of the pineapple in Moruga, Tableland belongs to the Tableland fraction of the constituency. He said Moruga. He said in his Road to Recovery plan, he had set out the foundation for the pineapple farmers. But here in Moruga, Tableland, we could tell you, this PM, he take we for fool. And he doesn't think that we would remember that those were the same words spoken on the 14th of July 2020. And the records are there, the videos are there. TTT, it's still up on their website. When he opened that agro-processing facility to the tune of $93 million, do you know that that facility has not met its mandate? That facility is just a white elephant? What is this government doing for the pineapple farmers? He claims that soon enough we will be exporting rather than importing pineapples. But what has this useless, worthless PNM government, this worthless Prime Minister and his mismanagement team done to strengthen the pineapple industry? Nothing. We are asking, where is the tax relief for pineapple farmers? Where is the incentive? We have Mr. Dalip here, who is a true pineapple farmer from Tableland, and he will tell you that there is no incentives. But they like to mention Moruga Tableland in all their speeches coming close to election. Just like how they like to interfere with the boundaries. But as Ms. John said, they could rename it. They could change it. No matter what they do, the licked book. Moruga Tableland would return to the United National Congress. But the Moruga Tableland didn't touch our boundaries, you know. They're trying to solicit votes through projects. And I will tell you that this Prime Minister, well, Keith Rowley, only comes to Moruga Tableland for a photo op. And his next photo op is booked for the opening of the fishing facility. A project that is cost overrun, that is past the date that the public was told that it would be commissioned. But again, wait for the photo op close to election. I'm telling you that they are soliciting our votes. They awarded a road project $178 million. Realize Road, have you seen anything from that $178 million? Have you seen anything from the further $112 million? Notice I didn't say $112 that was further pumped in this project. I know everyone would have passed those massive landslips on their way to this school. And if you did not have a pilot, you would have slipped into the precipice. So what is this government doing with our tax-paying dollars? It is lining somebody's pocket. Lo and behold, A couple Sundays ago, a Moruga contractor, it's alleged, was named in an article, given 16 contracts. So I ask here tonight, this PNM-led government, to say how come this new contractor qualified for selective tendering. And if he doesn't answer, the Freedom of Information already filed. We have to get accountability for our tax-paying dollars. It is time. And let me take a sip. You know why? Not everyone in my constituency have the pleasure of doing this. If you can't purchase it from the supermarket or a truck, crapo, smoke your pipe. Right now, would you believe that I have areas in Moruga Tableland such as Platanit, Corosan, Lasavan, and even Marak, where they claim to lay lines that have no water at all? And this is 50 years after this same government would have controlled the treasury. Trinidad and Tobago, it's time to send a message to this government. And you know what that message is? Pack your bag. You know what that message is? It's time to go. You know what that message is? Kamla Persad-Bissessar is the next Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. And you know what I want to tell you here tonight? They love Kamla more than we. They fear Kamla more than we. Why don't we respect the queen that was given unto us? I am telling you, I am a member of parliament. I know the pains, and I would ring my leader's phone non-stop. Leader, I have to throw some kind of fundraiser. Leader, you know anybody? I need some assistance. You know why? Because I have single mothers coming knocking on my door. They say, Mish, ain't it had a baby grant? I say, yes, it had one in her. That was 2010 to 2015 under Kamla Persad-Bissessar. Now, they say they're giving a book grant under Kamla Persad-Bissessar. You didn't have to jump through 10 hoops, go through Princeton, go up Port of Spain, go down to Co to get that grant. It was as simple as your child register. You have a need, but not with this government. You know how much hoops you have to join, how much hoops you have to jump to get that grant? Why should we keep subjecting ourselves to this pain and this misery, but they know how to send that tax paper home? Trinidad and Tobago, the message we're sending is, bye-bye Rowley, bye-bye Rowley, bye-bye PNM. It is time to return the United National Congress. We need to stand firm and don't let, as my colleague Ms. Vandana Mohit say, why the mining we business so? The overfast, the worse than a housewife. And I love housewives. But you know when we go in, when we come in, what we eating, why the mining our business so? We are a party on a growth spurt. We are on a party on the verge of creating history. We are going to annihilate the PNM government. Tobago did it, and we are going to do it. They changed all the boundaries. They did everything possible, but they stood up. And I know Moruga Tableland, we stood up. The rest of the country, St. Joseph, will stand up. San Fernando West will stand up. We are going to annihilate this government. Yes, it's going to be a clean wipe. Trinidad and Tobago, join on. As my DPL said, when the lion roar, the hall is basically filled. And outside, hello Moruga Tableland. hello all the activists of Moruga Tableland. I want you to give yourself a round of applause. Because we are going to create history. The robbery, one vote. And they want to see with strength. And we're going to show them. We are going to give them, and I have to make sure I say cocktail and not the next thing because national TV. We are going to give them a cocktail that is going to create history. They will see the strength of Michelle Diane Benjamin and Kamla Persad-Bissessar. Whenever that date is called, with our young candidate, Miss Nicole Gopal, with the force of Princeton Regional Corporation and the Yellow Army, we are going to teach them a lesson. Because when we fight for the people of Trinidad and Tobago. You know why I stand behind Kamla Persad-Bissessar? And I have to say it before I take my seat here tonight. Because she's a woman of compassion. She's a woman that cares. She is the mother of the nation. And they cannot deny that. And that is what Trinidad and Tobago is crying out for. We need her to return. Our youths have no jobs. Our mothers cannot afford food. What are we doing? These people are insulting us on a daily basis. We have a bully for a prime minister. Well, he attacked me on the same 14th, thinking I would have jumped out. Me, I go and engage the national bully. He does do a fine job with the media. I don't need that drama. My job is to represent Moruga Tableland and to serve you and the nation at wide. And I stand firm with Kamla Persad-Bissessar.
Alright then, Father got you among my friends, please. Because we don't know all my enemies. And the one that will stand right beside you. Look at the stars, look how they shine for you. Everything you do, yeah, they were all yellow. I came along, I wrote a song for you, and all the things you do, and it was called yellow. So then I took my turn. Oh, what a thing to have done. And it was all yellow. I swam across, I jumped across for you. Oh, what a thing to do. 'Cause you were all yellow.
This week we will learn the song. So maybe next week, because Kevin and the team, they've been putting the words up. So by next meeting, I hope we could sing yellow together. Code is yellow. Thank you all very much. Tonight's meeting has such an extra energy. Michelle, why? Because we're in Moruga Tableland. There's an extra vibe, extra strength coming out of your constituency, Michelle. So thank you all very much for joining us this evening. I acknowledge the two chairpersons who chaired our meeting, former Alderman Philip Gonzalez, give him a round of applause. And our new councillor, the young lady, both did a great job. Councillor Alima Ali, give her a round of applause, please. And let me thank Lengua TIA for allowing us to school, so give them a round of applause. Thank you. Thank you very much. Deputy Leader, Senator Jearlean John, Gail, I never knew you could dance so. I was going to say wine so, but I think the better word. I didn't know you could dance. Give her a round of applause. Deputy Leader, the Lion himself, MP Dr. Moonilal, Senator Anil Roberts, always on the ball and always on the go. Nicole, I think Michelle is training you very well. Give Nicole a round of applause. Our other MPs are here, our senators, activists, members of the National Executive, members of the Moruga Executive, all teams, all UNC. And of course to the viewers and listeners, give them a loud roar, let them hear us over the TV, over the radio. I am very, very happy tonight to see in our midst my colleague from way back when, former MP Nizam Baksh. Let's give him a round of applause. And joining us tonight, the two guys in the blue shirt, Mr. Jackman from OWTU, together with his colleague. Let us thank them for joining us. And all of you here, good evening. I'm happy to be with you. Always great when we could see each other face to face, eye to eye, as they say. And I can always see something that really lifts me up, inspires me, is I can see the smile, not just in your face, but in your eyes. That is always so very important. So thank you for that feedback. Thank you for that love. But that is a very important thing. Yes, JJ, if I could sing, I would sing with you. Put a little love in your heart. Don't be angry all the time. I wonder, some people, when they wake up in the morning, like they have nothing good to do, nothing good to say. Some people from them, they get up in the morning. Sometimes they don't even sleep whole night. They are keyboard warriors. Keyboard, I mean, send a smile, send some yellow hearts, you know. But some people seem to live in so much anger and pain. Let us say, God bless them. Put a little love in your heart and live a good life, live your best life. Tonight, in this beautiful constituency of Moruga Tableland, I didn't have this in my speech, but you see Michelle and everybody here? After I drive through that road coming down here, Anil talked about it. I think Rudy talked about the oxygen mask falling off the plane, falling off the precipice. What can I say to you? What is the one thing I will think make you happiest? I give you this assurance, when we form the next government, your roads will be given priority. Give you priority. I cannot imagine, Michelle, driving out of here, have to go Port of Spain to Parliament, other people driving to go, I mean, and you know, you said the precipice on the red is a red twine thing. They have to block off the thing, right, to block off the precipice. You can't even see it. It's only when you reach, maybe you driving every day would see it. It's only when you're almost upon it, then you see it. Minister Works, why don't you put some signs, put some lights, put something? It is exceedingly dangerous. So I give you the assurance, you put the UNC back in office, and we will fix your roads here in Moruga, Tableland. Your constituency also is one of a true Trini constituency, because we can find here every ethnicity, every religion, the diversity that is TNT. And I say you also stand out very badly for a good thing, very badly for a bad thing. I talk about the roads already. Unemployment is also very high. Michelle mentioned it. Among the young people, struggling to get jobs in your area, outside your area. Michelle mentioned it as well, the lack of water and these conditions that you have had to protest over. You know, I saw 3 ministers come down in my constituency a day or two ago. The Minister of Water, or no water, what's his name? Marvelous Marvin. Okay, thank you. He came down in my constituency together with Miss Beckles and together with one other, Foster Cummins. 3 of them come to open up tap. Still no water, okay? Still no water. So they come, they run a line, and they say, hey, look, Kamla not even here, boy. You see, Michelle, you said it, they miss us. They come down the road, they even tell me they're coming down the road. If I knew, I would have been there. That's my constituents. And you know why they came there? Same thing, Michelle, all of us talk about. Because that seat is going to be contested in a by-election. That part of the constituency. Yes, madam, that's your era. Make sure it blows for them. And so they came into Mondiablo. Why? After 9 years, you come to open a tap in Mondiablo and boasting about water and where Kamla and where the MP. Listen, you could do all of that and it blows. It licks. Licks like fire, licks like peas. That is one by-election that is booked. The councillor there, our councillor passed away in December, since December. So they have not had a councillor since December, and that is a seat known as Queen Anne Mondiablo. And then right here, you have the Lingua Indian Walk seat, also a by-election. So we have two by-elections in front of us. As I said, it will be licks like fire, licks like peas. We'll wipe them up in both seats as we move towards the general election. You know, when I see Michelle and talk with her and hear her speak, it gives me tremendous hope for the future of our party and for the future of our nation. She's a dynamic person, vibrant, committed MP Michelle. She's always on your side. I always see her on the news side by side with you, fighting for you, representing for you. I commend you, madam, for the great job that you're doing. I'm proud of you. And I say keep the faith and fight on in true UNC spirit. Fight on towards victory. I remember you telling me I come from the belly of Moruga. I can tell you where the caved lands are. I can tell you where my brothers are sitting on the block. So when you live the pain, neglect, you can best represent people because you are living it daily, on a daily basis. Again, let's give her a tremendous round of applause as your MP from Moruga Tableland. So where are we on the road to victory? Where are we on the road to take this government? I'll tell you where we are. On Thursday, last April 11, that was the deadline date for filing general election nomination forms, contesting the seats here. Do you know how many people filed nomination forms under the UNC banner? About 200 persons for 39 seats. I'm told that about 200 persons filed their forms. So you see how many people, that's not pressure. That means people like the party. They want to represent. They want to serve. And of course, there are only 39 seats in Trinidad. So 200, we'll have to do screening. So what are we doing now? We don't want to be caught off guard. So the step that we are going through now is for the Secretariat to engage in a thorough fact-checking of every single form. They have to go through every single form because it's very easy to put people's name, 36 persons' names. Everybody had to put up 36 persons to recommend them. We have to fact-check everything so we are not caught off guard with something that we didn't bargain for. I remember in the National Executive, some members of the NATEX are here. We spent hours, remember MP Moonilal, MP Lee, spent hours on that form, going through to make sure that we would capture the best set of information we needed to make decisions about who should contest which seat. So the Secretariat, as I say, that is what is now taking place with the nomination forms. And again, the party will do what the party will do, what the party must do in accordance with the party's constitution as we go forward on the road to victory. This party, you will see here tonight and elsewhere, this party will continue to be a party of great diversity and tolerance. You know, when I began in this party, and many of us are there, I think Moonilal was in the Savannah, in Arangways, maybe in Darsing and so on. When we began in this party, you couldn't see what I'm seeing here tonight. You couldn't see the mix and the diversity that we're seeing here. Now, true Shanti, Mohini, you all were way back when. And so, From then to now, this party has grown tremendously, representing every race, every creed, every religion. That is the diversity of Trinidad and Tobago, and that is the diversity of this UNC party that we all belong to, this great party. Our party is open to all people from all walks of life, all the time. All faiths, all morals, all values must be respected because all are equally important. I remember Morgan Job used to tell me, some of you may remember former MP Morgan Job. He used to tell me, Kamla, see not race in every face, see grace, because we are all children of God. And today I ask you to remember that. See not race in every face, but see grace, because we are all children of God. And that is my heartfelt belief, and that is a foundation stone of the great UNC you belong to. There's no room for intolerance. There's no room for extremism of any type in our UNC and in our party. As your leader, as a national leader, I represent all people equally and fairly. I cannot and will not be controlled by any individual or group to promote any singular agenda at the expense of other sectors of our country. I will always promote the well-being of our diverse, beautiful people with the same level of love and commitment I have always shown in my life. I will continue to participate in every aspect of a multicultural society without fear or favor. Likewise, I respect the right of any person who chooses not to participate in accordance with their own views to do as they think best. We are still a free society. That is a choice I have made, and that is a choice I ask every UNC member to make, to participate in the diversity that is Trinidad and Tobago. There will always be differences in a society. And whilst that is true, I believe I show love and respect to all equally. As a leader of this great UNC party, and as a national leader, I give you the assurance I will show tolerance, love, and compassion without fear or favor. But I warn you, do not take my kindness for weakness. Do not ever take my kindness for weakness, I warn you. Because I am woman and I am strong. I am UNC and I am proud. And I ask you to say, we are UNC and we are proud. Never, ever, ever take my kindness for weakness. Never. I serve you with notice. Don't say you were never notified. I talk now about the EBC report, which has been in the news. EBC report, yes. When you get an EBC report in the parliament, Anil, you know what's going on. Elections, come in, come in, come in. That report has been submitted to parliament. We have gotten copies, and I'm sure some of you have seen it. What is it doing? They've renamed 5 constituencies. Name change. Okay, Mr. Jackman. You know where you're from? Pointe-à-Pitre. Now is what? Claxton Bay. Why? Why would they have not changed anything else? I think one PD brought in. That means not the whole of not even from Claxton Bay, it came from Tableland. One PD change. But you change the whole seat to call it what? Claxton Bay. What was it before? Pointe-à-Pitre. What did you do to Pointe-à-Pitre? You shut down the refinery in Pointe-à-Pitre. They don't want you to remember the name Pointe-à-Pitre, because then you remember the pain and the suffering of the thousands of persons that put on the breadline at that petroleum refinery. And now, they're hiding again. Remember Mr. Valley, I remember Mr. Valley in the parliament, he told Oka Sipol, who was then the speaker, he said you could run, but you cannot hide. You could run, but you can't. So, Pointe-à-Pitre, Claxton Bay, by whichever name you call it, it licks like fire, it licks like peas. It will be a UNC seat that we will recapture. So they've renamed 5 constituencies. They've altered the boundaries of 16 constituencies. As I said, rename Pointe-a-Pierre to Claxton Bay. What is the rationale? Tell us what was your rationale to change your name. I've given you the real reason, the reason they want to hide. But why, EBC? Why you did it? Why did you change the name to Claxton Bay? And as I said, the PDs in Claxton Bay, very few. Now, if you say you're taking Claxton Bay, you want to call it, why you didn't change your name Superior? Why didn't you change the name of the constituency of Superior? I'm not asking you to change it because I'm a Superior girl. Just like Silverine sitting on somewhere there. I'm not asking you, why? What is your rationale? Because the constituency of Superior only has about 2 or 3 PDs where? In Superior proper. All the other 40-something, where they belong? Penal. So what is your rationale for changing Pointe-a-Pierre to Claxton Bay? You see, these fellas are stricters, you know. They're up to no good. They're never up to anything they do. And what they say, what you do in the dark, come up in the... Yeah, all this comes back up in the light. So they change these names, and I want to know why. My seat, Superior, has 34 PDs. 34. 28 PDs are in the penal Debe Corporation area. 28. So why did you not change it? 83% of my constituency is outside of Superior, but they kept the name. They kept it. I'm glad. As I say, I'm a Superior girl. So they operate in a very Vikey-Vike manner, ad hoc manner, because they are corrupt. One reason, as I told you, for Pointe-a-Pierre, and a different reason for Superior. And others we can look at in likewise as name changes. So, forgetting the name changes, what happened with the PDs now? I see persons talking about the changes in the PDs within a constituency. We are currently analyzing the report, so I'm not jumping out too quick to say, hey, the seat becomes stronger PNM, the seat becomes stronger UNC. No, no, no. You see, that report is based on 2020 demographics. We are 4 years later. What has happened in that 4 years? What has happened? So we cannot base our analysis on 2020 general election votes in these PDs. We have to go, and I'm asking every one of you, depending on where you are from, and those of you listening, go into your constituency. And I want you to go into those transferred PDs to determine what new housing developments have been built. So don't sit around and say, they take one from here and they put it there and it gets stronger. No. Look for the house. I'm sorry I don't have the video. I saw our councillor Macamillan, Michael Alibokas. I saw him there where he went, where they're putting up these houses in San Fernando. Block upon block upon block. So you all don't sit down there and don't think these people are not corrupt. They are very corrupt. And they will do anything to keep their hands inside of the treasury, to fly as a freaking flyer man, $10+ million flying hundreds of thousands of dollars for one visit for one day. They will keep their hands in the treasury. They will do anything. And we must do all that is legal to ensure that we win the next election. They must get out. They have to go. They have to go. Only when we do the site visits, the physical visits in the constituencies, can be determined the effect of the boundary changes. So don't get chained up. Don't get fooled. Some people send me, boss, don't worry, the seat gets stronger, How you know that? That was 2020 data. 4 years later, by the time election comes, 5 years later, maybe 4 to 5. So, in those marginals, you have a job to do. And even if it's not a marginal, you still have a job to do. Because as I said, they will do anything they can to stay in power. So I'll give you a more comprehensive analysis after we do this exercise. And those of you who are living in areas, you can also do it. Help us send the data. The government is busy building low-quality housing all over the marginal seats to voter pad. They're building poor quality housing on the banks of the Guaracara and Sipero rivers. That's where? In the seat of San Fernando West. We had to watch them. And make sure you apply for your house. When in those areas, make sure to apply for the house. Some people say, boss, we don't want HCC house. Look, you're getting an HCC house. Take the HCC house and vote UNC. Clear as ever. That is being built with taxpayers' dollars. So they belong to you as well. So nothing from Greenvale, the Greenvale disaster, they had built on the banks of the Caroni River. You remember that in Greenvale, and if JJ will remember it well. Remember when that whole Greenville area totally flooded? They built on the banks. They're building on the banks, as I told you, of this Guaracara and Sipero rivers. So just put down the house. Somebody told us earlier, they gave you a key, you go on in, they had no electricity, the lights start working. Years later, months later, and house collapsing in the river. They have a history of building poor quality housing. Las Alturas, remember anybody? The whole thing collapsed. Collapsed, Moonilal, you remember that well. There was a commission of inquiry. Just block up and block high-rise buildings just collapsed. And don't forget now what is happening at Terrestrial. If you didn't know, the Terrestrial housing development, I don't know what corruption and scandal going on there, but they have stopped the contract. And I think the contractor may have been a friend and/or it is alleged, the contractor for Terrestrial alleged that he was a friend financier of the PNM. But they've taken away his contract now, stopped the contract because something is wrong with the work. This is what I'm being told. In a couple of weeks, you will hear, as I say, a more comprehensive analysis of that EBC report. I would like you to look at San Fernando West to show you how the corrupt EBC is biased towards the PNM. There's a seat that is next to San Fernando West. You know which one it is? Strong UNC seat. Oropouche East. Boundary. Oropouche East is often overflowing with voters. I don't know people in Oropouche East making plenty children. So the population, the population keeps growing there. Huge amounts of voters and people. But they will not take any PDs from Oropouche East and just over the boundary line. They will take it from where? San Fernando East, their vote bank. So they feel they're smart. Before the 2015 general elections, the EBC submitted a report in which it recommended alterations of the boundaries of 10 seats in Trinidad. One of those was San Fernando West. I quote from the 2015 order, and I'm just sharing it with you so you know, don't get chained up. These people are very corrupt. I quote from the report in 2015, the order that was made. In San Fernando East, due to transfer from this constituency of polling divisions 4055 and 4060 to San Fernando West, and transfer into it polling division 3860, 3872, 3905 from Oropouche East. Pick up 3 PDs from Oropouche East, drop it in San Fernando East where it will not make a difference. But do what? Take 2 out of the East to drop it in West, the marginal. The order continues. In San Fernando West, due to a transfer into this constituency West of polling divisions 4055 and 4060 from San Fernando East, and in Oropouche East, due to transfer from this Oropouche East of PDs 3860, 3872 and 3905 to San Fernando East. Well, listen now, when they keep doing this, they feel they're fooling everybody. One day it will catch up with them, you know. They might take so much out of Oropouche East and drop it into San Fernando East that we win. It could happen because, you know, when you're thieving, God don't like thief, you know. God don't like thief. So when you don't sleep, I tell you, God don't sleep, only wears pajamas. Thank you for reminding me. This means San Fernando West needed more voters, but guess what? They didn't have to take them from Oropouche East. Okay? Oropouche had too many, that is why they throw them over the line. As I said, they could have taken 3 BDs from Oropouche East straight into San Fernando West, and they wouldn't do that. They would not do it. Remember, they had no reason to interfere with San Fernando East. You see the jigsaw going on there? Because you take her from East to put in West, you had to come back and make up the numbers in San Fernando East. So you grab them from Oropuch East. There was nothing, there was no need to change anything in San Fernando East. Them same boats that you took from Orochi to drop there, you could have taken them and put them in the West. Why interfere? Why put 3 constituency mix up in this foolishness? Again, no good reason, except for some people to thief. Remember, as I said, come to 2024, they've moved certain PDs out, and we can talk a little more about that on another day. They did the same thing in 2015 election. Now we're coming down to 24-25, and they're up to their gerrymandering tricks again. Always remember how they transferred PDs in St. Joseph. So St. Joseph, watch out as well, huh? Okay, I've had two sets of meetings in the recent past as the party continues for outreach and to build. And there appears to be a deliberate and sustained attack on the unions in our country. The wider membership of the unions by government. We have been holding talks with key unions in our country, and on March 22, we held a widely publicized meeting with the Joint Trade Union Movement with Mr. Roger and his team, President Alcel Roger, and 9 other key trade union leaders and officials from JTUM. Mr. Jackman was present at that meeting. In that meeting, which was reported in the media, we spoke about how the UNC will help with several serious issues of workers' rights affecting the trade union body. Some of these issues include several institutions have outstanding salary negotiations dating back to 2015, crucial amendments to the Industrial Relations Act. The UNC and JTUM discussed a joint approach to tackle the issues. In addition to that meeting with JTUM, the UNC has met with President Mr. Leroy Batiste of the PSA to better understand workers' issues. I want to say both those meetings with workers' unions and representatives, they have been positive. There is a firm commitment for further discussions to be held as they seek to find common ground in interest of public servants and the wider public. Also workers in other sectors. We have been working with all sectors to find a common, united path to move our country forward and restore good governance to Trinidad and Tobago. Now, one of the issues that was raised, and I'm glad Ms. John spoke tonight about housing, because that is something that affects every young person. Everybody wants home of their own. And that was one of the main issues brought by the workers to us, the issue of affordable home ownership. I am told that we have 2 and 3 generations of families living in the same house or apartment. 1, 2, 3 generations in the same house or apartment in some places, sleeping on the floor because the price of land and houses is totally out of reach. We have to make quality housing more affordable and more accessible to people and to young people. And so we will begin consultations with the legal fraternity on the issue of allowing lawyers to advertise. Why do I say that? I'm a lawyer, yes, but I don't plan to advertise. To allow lawyers to advertise. You know why? I believe by allowing this, potential clients can be more informed about costs. It will increase competition, assist young lawyers, and drive down conveyancing prices. Remember, we talk about house and land, eh? You must get a lawyer to deal with house and land. But if the lawyer's fees are too high, that's one way we can help you bring the costs down. But we will have a consultation with the lawyers. I think tomorrow morning, some of the EATA food lawyers will be cussing me, because they want to keep those prices up sky high. I call them EATA food lawyers, because that's all they do. They sit down and they wait to get all those state briefs and government briefs. And they keep the prices very high. Well, that's good. It's a free country. But I'm now saying we'll have discussions with lawyers, the legal fraternity, with the view to bringing prices down. And how can we do that? One way, and they may have other ways we can bring prices down, by advertising. They can advertise their services. You see, Janti's smiling. She's a lawyer. She probably want to advertise too. Who knows? So, well, you are lucky. She said she has enough work. But I mean, the young lawyers, I think I see Chris somewhere there who just graduated, yes. Look, other young lawyers just, to build their practice. Years ago, a lot of things were secret things. So lawyers, you can't advertise. Doctors, you can't advertise. But all of this was to dig out people's eyes, I'm sorry to say. That who making the money will continue to make the money. How do you let the young people into the field? More coming out. Even look like valuators. When you're going for house and land, you have to get your mortgage, you get valuators and so on. So those are some of the things we can consult. I'm not making it a policy statement, saying consultation to make it happen. And then now, we'll work to create a single umbrella entity to process approvals for land development or building construction, a single one-stop place. Right now I am told you have to go by WASA to get something, you have to go to fire for something. Regional corporations all over the place. By the time you finish 2 years, 3 years past, you cannot get your certificate of completion. So if you want a mortgage, you can't get a mortgage. You have to do what they call bridging or something, bridging loans. Greg is better at these things. I'm just the politician here, but you to get your land, to get it valued, to get all these approvals. We are saying we will have a unit from fire, WASA, TNTech, town and country, health, regional corporations under a single body. A single body. So you won't have to go all over the country for individual approvals, and this will be like a one-stop shop, okay? Then our aim is to have provisional approvals ready within 45 to 50 days of first application, and final approvals with completion certificates within another 50 days of completion of the project. We'll get a 100-day layover to get it done. Some who are clapping know what I'm talking about. Some who not clapping must be still living in mommy and daddy house something, and you're not worrying. You're not looking for a house or piece of land. That's quite okay. So the system is very corrupt. Projects have been stalled for years. By streamlining these approvals, we can get more land and housing stock available to increase supply in relation to demand, and that also does what? Drive down costs. If you have supply more than demand, then what happens? The price. This will also drop. Also, by shortening the project time, developers and builders can reduce costs, and they can pass on these lower prices to the younger people who want to own a home. I'm saying the UNC will reinvigorate the Land for Landless initiative. That was such a great initiative. We will reinvigorate it. That was excellent and helped a lot of low-income earners. So dealing with issues of home owning, affordable home ownership. I know Anil spoke about the babies, others spoke about the babies. I want to speak about those babies tonight. There is nothing more painful than losing a child. There is nothing for a mother just giving birth to a baby to lose that child. For 8 years now, our MPs, senators, doctors have been consistently complaining and warning about the devastating state of public health in our country. This is not the first time this thing happened. It happened in 2018. Do you all remember that? Look, Dr. Rishi there, 2018. We raised it in the parliament, and what did Mr. Diyal Singh do then? What did the MP Diyal Singh come and apologize? Same thing. 2018, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Repeating failure and pain caused to people. I would just look, I had a lot of things to say on that. I think it's painful, but I'll tell you one thing. That is why we built the Couva Children's Hospital. That is one of the reasons. That was one of the reasons. So you don't have these little babies up there. That was a Couva Children's Hospital. We had the segments of it for newborn babies or maternity. Yeah, the maternity ward, you come in and have your baby there. That's what we built it for. We didn't build it for corruption and thief. We built it for the children of Trinidad and Tobago and the mothers of Trinidad and Tobago and others. And others. So if you need a justification for that hospital, in 2018, the Jearlean responded when there was a spike in newborn deaths at Mount Hope. He gave one excuse after another. He promised to expand neonatal care and improve infection control measures. Yet here we are, 6 years later, mourning the death of innocents under his watch once again. In 2016, a child was given blood which was HIV positive. The child died in 2018, 2 years later. No one has held accountable for these deaths. The Minister of Health, the CEO of Northwest, must be held accountable for their roles in this tragedy. Dr. Bodo on Sunday called for his resignation. Well, I agree with you. The Jearlean must go, he must go. All of them must go. They must all go. They should just go. 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 Because of the Jearlean in health, Heinz in national security, thousands have died, and yet they remain to continue to oversee the deaths of more people. How can we have any faith in these persons after what was happened? So, Couva Children's Hospital, I say the tragedy highlights the broader issue of evil and incompetence in this Rowley government. Excuse me a minute, please. Still closed. We will open it, don't worry. The UNC will open the DB campus, don't worry. The UNC will open the Couva Children's Hospital as well. This hospital represents a missed opportunity to help with the problems in our health sector. The refusal to open it is only spite of malice and ill will. Bad mind, yeah, that is the right word, bad mind. They are so bad mind. They prefer people to die than to open that hospital, because we built that hospital, the UNC built that hospital, and the UNC will come back to open that hospital. These debts are on their hands. These debts should forever haunt them because of their incompetence, failure, and bad mind. So, we have called before, Dr. Bodo, Dr. Rishi. Since 2020, we have been calling for a commission of inquiry into the Rowley government's mismanagement of the COVID-19 pandemic. Over 5,000 persons died in that pandemic. We also said we want this inquiry to probe the unaccounted billions of taxpayers' dollars spent by the Rowley government during that pandemic. Yesterday, Dr. Bodo and Senator Mark again condemned the Jearlean's failure. Dr. Bodo asked for the investigation to be completed and the report submitted quickly, and for no cover-up on this matter. I endorse those calls made by our colleagues yesterday. I want to say further, when we return to government, we will appoint a commission of inquiry to look into all COVID deaths as well as the management of the health sector. In England, the Prime Minister then had promised to do a commission of inquiry, and he kept his promise. In other countries, they're doing the commissions of inquiry or other investigations. We must do it. A lot of money was spent during that COVID pandemic, and I don't think you all down here in Moruga Tableland get 5 cents from that. I don't think so. You could tell me from that COVID relief. Non-stop crime, violence, bloodletting in TNT. In the past week, our nation has been traumatized by murder, home invasion after home invasion, senseless bloodletting, demonic bloodletting. Where can you ever find or would ever believe somebody will decapitate, behead a child? It is beyond human. That is demonic. I was going to sleep the other night. Greg said, Kamla, look at. I said, Greg, I don't even want to talk about. Please don't. Let's not talk about it. It is too horrifying. It is beyond belief. So all these murders that we have there, yes, but oh God, man, a child, a little child. For the first 4 months of this year, we have had 170 murders. People are desperate, hopeless, asking when this horrific, unprecedented crime wave and violence, when will it end? When will they do anything about it? They are clueless, witless. They're incapable of coming up with any plans. When you have a national security man tell you that his job is not to make you feel safe, so what the hell is he doing there? Why is he sitting in that seat? And that's not his job. Then what is your job? If your job is not to make the population safe, to help keep us safe, what is your job? What is your job? Well, somebody tell me he's sleeping. Sleeping when they say I've dropsy. You know, it's jokey, but it's really, really frightening and sad. Eh? It's jokey, but it is very sad. So all these here, right here in Moruga Tableland, this used to be a peaceful place. Now murder, home invasion in broad daylight. People are being terrorized, yes, forced to live in fear. Under this government, look at some of the headlines coming from your constituency. August 10, 2023, man shot during home invasion in Moruga. Monday, June 5th, 2023, Newsday, brother of slain Moruga businessman. He was my hero. Loop News, February 14, 2023. Son of WPC shot dead in Moruga. Guardian, 17 June 2022. No leads as yet on Moruga double murder. Newsday, August 10, 22. Ex-lay minister killed. Son wounded by relative at Moruga home. Newsday, Wednesday, 14 April 2021. Double homicide. This is your place in Moruga. This is what your once peaceful village has come to. And you know why? In the last election, some of you took God out of your thoughts and you put your X in the wrong place. Next election, remember, put that X next to the rising sun. Remember, place your X next to the rising sun. And people are speaking about the crime everywhere in our country. We have held a lot of crime talks, and we will use that to formulate our policy and further policies going forward as we fight crime in Trinidad and Tobago. I wanted to just share finally with you a Reuters report which came out today, the 15th of April, okay, today. So whilst we are putting things in place, there's a development emerging on the international stage. You might not know, but it will impact on our nation. A Reuters article published today states that a U.S. State Department spokesman says that the U.S. government will not renew the temporary license that has been easing sanctions on Venezuela's oil and gas sector if President Maduro does not make progress towards free and fair elections. That license, Mr. Jackman, expires on the 18th, I think, of April. So the U.S. had given a license saying they will lift the sanctions on Venezuela, and unless conditions change, that license expires April 18, will have severe implications for the future of TNT. Because both Rowley and Stuart Young, they have put all of the nation's hopes and dreams in the hands of Venezuela by placing all our national eggs in that one basket. Banking they are heavily on cross-border gas deals like the Dragon Project with Venezuela. Time and again, we have cautioned against such a narrow focus. If this Reuters report is factual, and we'll know within a few days, because the license is set to expire on the 18th. I don't think Reuters will write. They are not like other media. They're international media. They're not like Anil media, okay? I heard them describe you today as Anil as a great media personality and spokesman. So this is, you may feel it will not impact on you, but it will severely impact all of us. Because if we don't have the oil and gas, if we don't have the energy sector, this government has developed nothing to bring revenue into our country. No other streams of revenue. They still rely on the energy basket. So, very serious matter. We'll continue to monitor and keep you updated. I close now. I say we are a very deeply wounded nation. We are a nation in pain. We are a nation losing an entire generation. Crime is a horrible pestilence of our times. Our international image is the worst in our history. Fear and horror, facts of daily living. Business people are refusing to invest. Many are leaving in order to protect their families. Extortionists are telling business people they know the whereabouts of their families. While people are being mercilessly killed each day, Mr. Rowley's response is to have fun and to retain his incompetent ministers. That arrogant, disdainful response is an insult. It's an insult to many law-abiding citizens. I said Moruga was once a peaceful place. Now people are being terrorized and killed. Within several of your places, 6 companies in Mary's Village, Bastere, Peanut Rock Road, and other villages. Routine carjackings, robberies, random shootings. And so your community, as in other places in TNT, have now become war zones. War zones. Most other areas, Moruga has lost its innocence. Hard-working people here live in fear. Some are leaving their businesses and homes, looking to migrate. Those who can do so, majority of us cannot migrate. We need a safe, secure Moruga Tableland. We need a safe, secure Trinidad and Tobago. We need a safe and secure TNT. Tonight, I call upon each of you to join us in a movement for good health, for good security, for justice, for prosperity, and for a better quality of life. I close, as I always do, to thank you so much for sharing your time with me tonight. And I tell you, you have had leaders before me. And guess what? You will have other leaders after me. But, you will never, ever have a leader who loves you as much as I do. Thank you and God bless you. Let's welcome the drummers.